Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 1 of REI Talk with the Colemans. I'm Jay Coleman. This is my beautiful wife,
Marsha Coleman. Hey.
And we are here today with Tang and Wynn.
Hey, hey.
Yes, woo! We are super excited to have them. These guys are a power couple right now in REI, and they're going to be sharing some information with you guys, some valuable stuff on basically wholesaling sub 2 deals, what a sub 2 deal is, and things of that nature. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I've kind of did some questions. So tell us a little bit about who you guys are. So obviously Marsha and I know you guys. I mean, you guys are doing extremely well in the REI game. A lot of people know you in the REI arena just in general. But, you know, for the listeners or the viewers that don't know who you are, tell us who you are.
Awesome. So my name is Tang Wynn, and I've been married to my lovely wife for 8 years.
3 days.
6 hours. And our journey in real estate really started in 2016, actually 2015.
Okay.
But the true reason why was we had a sports bar before.
Okay.
And we lost it. I thought we can just get a sports bar, hire the right people, and just manage them. But if you don't have any background in it, then hey, it's gonna be a rough ride, right? It was a big learning curve, and I just couldn't do it. It was just way too much. So closing the bar in 2014, having our first son, pregnant, and a couple months behind the mortgage was it was a rough 2014 start.
Yeah.
But going through what I did, I wouldn't trade it in for the world. Like that's what I needed.
Yeah.
To humble myself.
Yeah.
And to grow up, honestly, having our son and being a dad. Mm-hmm. But it was cool because I got to spend the whole year really just seeing all his firsts.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. I get that a lot of other guys are like, man, you got to see that. You got to see that. Like, yeah, I got to see all his first. It was amazing. So, we helped out quite a few guys back in the days with their business and everything. So, I got help that time. Financial help from really good friends got me back on my feet. And my wife saw an infomercial, right? About how to buy houses with zero money.
Kind of sounds like our story.
And so we're like, we don't have any money, so what do we have to lose, right? Let's just give it a shot and go see.
Yeah.
And so we did. It was a nationwide brand, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
Right, and we went. They had the presentation. We were like, okay, I see why they say, do real estate with no money.
Yeah.
And of course, it's with OPM or other people's money.
Yeah.
So I was intrigued. I was like, great, I can do that. I can make that happen. I just find the product and find guys who want to put their money out, get it working. And so we signed up for the big package, got a lot of education, but that was it. Mm-hmm. Lots of education, but not much action, right? They didn't say, hey, they said go do this and go do that, but it was very broad, very, very basic, right? Go to your local network and get some answers. Go make a meetup. Mm-hmm. And so back then there wasn't that many. 2015, 2016, there wasn't all these avenues, right? And so the support system wasn't there. So I looked around, found a local one, and joined that group. Mm-hmm. And that's where my network just blew up.
Gotcha.
I got to learn how to network properly, there's tons of different groups out there. And so from then, we just got educated, got some marketing going, and then that's when it started rolling in.
Yeah.
We found out real quick that it's all about marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing. Like, you can't do anything. Nobody knows your name unless you're marketing yourself. You're marketing your brand. You're just marketing. Mm-hmm. So we just turned up the marketing, and the deals started coming in, the leads started coming in, and then we had more practice, right? The more leads, the more practice you have, because the first one was terrible. I remember where I was at Starbucks. I met up with a gentleman. He called on one of my signs, and they're trying to sell me a house in, like, out of nowhere, out in the sticks, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, talking like I know what I'm doing. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
So your first seller appointment was actually at a Starbucks.
He called on my sign. And I told him, hey, meet me at the Starbucks, right? And I remember the exact seat still because I crossed that Starbucks every day. I'm like, oh my God, that's where it all started, right? And and he gave me a list of things. I had like a little booklet, right? These are the questions to ask from the class, right? And I'm like, I'm filling out my notebook in front of this guy that's supposed to buy his house, and ended up not being a deal. Like I was like, I don't know anybody in that area. Like who's gonna buy this? So we let it pass. But eventually we got our first wholesale deal, and honestly, till today, she's still my number one supporter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. She still supports me, watched me grew up in the business since the first deal.
Wow.
So it's
And you said you guys started the business when? What year?
End of 2015, 2016 is when we got everything rolling.
Okay.
So 2015 we got educated.
Okay.
And then started putting out some marketing at the end of 2015, but then we just Thanksgiving, December, we just went hard with bandit signs. When everybody was just chilling
During the break.
during the holidays, I was
Yeah.
out putting hundreds and hundreds of signs.
Yeah.
And then we came in January with 9 contracts.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was before I knew about Sub 2. If
Yeah.
I knew then, oh my God, there would have been a few more. I passed up quite a few deals in that time. But it worked, right? I was like, all I had to do was market while everybody was enjoying their holidays or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that during that time, everybody was still going to Walmart, still, Black Friday sale. And so my signs were all over every Walmart, every Target, every Best Buy.
Yeah.
Where everybody was lining up outside. I was like, well, if they're sitting outside here, just read my sign, right?
Yeah.
And so that just pushed us like, okay, marketing's where to go. Just bandit signs everywhere. So I stuck with that ever since. We don't do as heavy now, but we still put them out. We put them out like last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And when you're doing if you don't mind me asking real quick, I think it's going to be a later question, but when you guys are actually doing your bandit signs, you were saying like you put them at like close to Home Depots, Lowe's, things like that. Are you busy intersections? Is there any outside of just kind of like those main areas? Are you putting them anywhere else that you find that really is gold? That
24-hour drive-through food, like fast food.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's my like Whataburgers, Burger King, McDonald's. Those are my hot spots.
That's interesting.
So
okay, and you just put them like on a corner close to
it. Just where the drive-through is, right?
Right.
You're gonna sit there. You might wait for your food, and oh look, there's a sign just hanging out in the parking lot somewhere.
Right. People seeing it 2 or 3 in
post.
the morning.
Yeah. It's just that catches their eye, and
Cha-ching, golden nugget.
Right. Gold nugget.
yeah, that's our little sweet spots right there.
Okay.
But we do have some honey holes in the city that
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like the signs doesn't get picked up, so it just still sits out there.
That's awesome.
So
bandit signs are still actually working for you guys then, to this date, because I know a lot of people were saying, I don't want to do bandit signs because there's a risk to it, right?
There is.
I mean,
risk versus rewards.
Yeah, risk versus reward, but to know that hey, it's actually still working and it's still a legitimate marketing idea. I mean, that's awesome. So great.
It's just stuff. Who wants to do the work?
The leg work, right? That's the key.
Who wants to wake up at 3 a.m, pick up your business partner, and then go out for a couple hours and come home before the family wakes up?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Do you guys have it like basically kind of down to a science to how many bandit signs maybe it takes to, from what you see to maybe actually get a deal contracted? Is it like for, your numbers, would it be like every 150 bandit signs, you put out, you notice that you can probably convert to a contract?
About 100.
Okay.
100 signs, 100 to 150 signs. We'll get to a contract. We'll get leads.
Right.
But, we'll contract. So we're averaging 3 to 4 properties a month just from bandit signs.
Wow.
Doing 100 a week.
Wow.
So the average is around there.
Wow.
So,
that's phenomenal.
But it's all about the art, right?
Yeah.
The placement, the angle.
Yeah.
The other big nugget is always if you're driving, you're always going to put it towards the left, because when you approach an intersection, you're always going to look left before you look right? You got to look left to see traffic.
Right.
but my sign's gonna be in your face on the left hand side,
Right.
before you see the traffic. So that's what a lot of people do. They put signs in front of the stop sign when you're approaching it, but the guy's pulling up. He's already looking left,
Right.
for cars coming through,
Right.
So that's one of
a little
those
psychology. Yeah. That's
So
a
that's
great gold
one of those,
nugget.
yeah.
And you're right. Because if the stop sign is on the right side and you know you're going to probably go right or go straight,
Anywhere,
you're
you
still
gotta
going to
look
look
left.
left.
That's
And
your first instinct, no matter
That's your
what.
first instinct.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good stuff. Thank you guys for sharing that. That's
You were
really
like,
good.
we're going to do that.
Yeah. I have more questions. I mean, this is going to be a great interview. Tang and Ann are going to, kind of give us some gold. Did you have any questions you want to answer? Otherwise, I'll just keep on going down.
Keep going. Well, let me ask. Do you guys do it together, or are you kind of like primarily leading, and are you involved at all?
So we started out together,
Okay.
but after we had my son,
Yeah.
he got really, really busy.
Ah.
And so he kind of took over, and he's primarily doing a bulk of it, but I'm his number one support.
That's right. That's right. I love
She
it.
does, when she was helping out, she wrote tons of signs.
Yeah.
I
Our
still
house
do.
was covered
Yeah.
with bandit signs. Just right, throw it, right, and throw it. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, because you got to put them together. I remember
yeah.
when so we lived in an apartment when we first got started, and we lived on the third floor. So
Ooh.
trying to get the signs up to the third floor, and he would be like, I'm not doing this. Can we just do it downstairs in the garage or whatever? And we would be putting them together and loading up the truck, and it was like literally after date night, we'd be putting
Yeah.
out signs on a Friday night. So,
Absolutely.
but I remember like putting it together. I was just like, at first, this is gonna sound like probably like really girly. I was trying to get it perfectly because you had those like little
flutes.
ridges. Yeah, and I was just like, why? At first, when I first started doing it, the little stake would go through the sign. I was like, I got to figure this out. Can I tape it or whatever? And then Jesse would be like, this is the way you do it. I'm like, all right, so now we have a system.
Yeah.
But at first it was just like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
We're like, what's all these boxes? Like,
Yeah.
you know, so.
And those are some great nuggets too on bandit signs. Like, so Marsha and I, like she said, when we first started, we were doing bandit signs fairly heavily, but now we've kind of like backed off on it. But to know that it's still working and you guys are still converting from it, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, maybe that's something that we might even potentially get back into.
Yeah.
And
There's-
maybe.
There's definitely so many streets.
Yeah.
If I
mean,
tell
it's-
him to go, let's go put out some signs, he's going to be looking at me like, are you serious right now? Where are my muscle gloves?
So let's go ahead and transition. So I think that was a great introduction. That actually kind of answered how you guys got started in real estate as well. That was going to be another question. So that kind of went there. So the third question would kind of be more of like, so what strategies are kind of working for you guys right now? I mean, primarily so obviously you guys have kind of, really kind of mastered for the most part the real estate game. You guys know the wholesale side, flips, sub twos, owner finance, rentals. I mean, a lot of stuff. So initially we wanted you guys to kind of talk about wholesaling and sub two deals. That's going to be and wholesaling sub two deals. So can you go into that a little bit, kind of like what wholesaling is to you, what a sub two deal is, how you wholesale a sub two deal, maybe some structure and stuff like that behind that. So this is like the meat of
Sure. Okay. So it started off, everybody said, hey, get into wholesaling because that's the quickest way to get a return, right?
Right.
And so we started marketing, we started doing that, and we got 1 or 2 wholesale deals. But then we're getting all these leads that just doesn't make sense, right? We're like, man, I want to do something with this lead because back then 1 lead, 2 leads a week was like golden, and that was like, oh my God, every lead was golden, right? We want to convert that into a deal, and so there were a few that I just didn't make sense. The numbers just didn't work out, and then I met a gentleman named Jose Hinosa, and he was like, bro, those are good leads. Let me show you. Just look at this deal. So I said, hey, look at this deal. Let's see if we can make something out of it. Here, how about I just give you this deal? You just show me what you're talking about.
Right.
And then he just basically showed me how to do it sub two, how to take over the mortgage, pay on behalf of the seller, right, the homeowner that doesn't want the property anymore, doesn't want the loan, doesn't want anything to do with the house anymore. They just want out of the property. And so I was like, okay, we'll just come in. And it was like This first deal was like a $4,000 reinstatement.
And this is your primary strategy right now, right?
It's one of them now. It was when I first started because we didn't have any money, right? And so that was the easiest way to enter into the real estate world with little to no money. Like we're just using we're just reinstating the loan, and then we'll either wholesale it, wrap it, or but that's what he taught me was wrapping everything, just wrapping. That was his bread and butter. So when he showed me that, I was just amazed by the numbers. I'm a big numbers guy. So
yeah, me too.
I saw the down payment. I was like, okay, I got my money back. I saw the cash flow. I was like, wow, I'll get that every month. And then if he ever sells the house or refi, then you get everything, the equity on the back end. And so I'm like, oh, damn, I'm get paid 3 times on each deal.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I can do this. You know? I like
and that's
this.
a gold nugget. And that's why the sub 2 deals, that's why it's such an awesome strategy, because like you said, there's an opportunity to get paid 3 times on the same deal. I mean, that's awesome that you just said that. I mean, that's great. But yeah, please continue. Please continue.
And so that's what he showed me. And then I was like, okay, great. I'm doing this all day long now. And so I was chasing all the deals now, right? Now I opened up I had more tools in the tool belt, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can get a wholesale. Oh, not that much equity. Okay, I can just get a sub 2 and then turn into a rental, owner finance, whatever. And so now I was able to take down more deals. So the first year we got like 30 deals in the first year, and I was just like, man, this is crazy. But in that first year, I was not around much with the family, and I told her we got to sacrifice to get where we want to get. And 2016, I just sacrificed every weekend. I gave up my friends, gave up everything, and I went every weekend, every Friday signs, every Thursday night signs. Oh yeah, Thursday night is good at schools, elementary schools, high schools, because Friday everybody's coming to pick up their kids.
Right.
My signs are out. So
you're saying to get started getting started. So you're saying like when you were getting started, there were some sacrifices that had to be made. I mean, but you talk to your significant other, your wife, you talk to her, you let her know like in advance, hey, this is kind of what's going on, and this is what is going to be needed for us to be able to get it to the next level. I think that a lot of people need to hear that, that they have to understand that it's going to be that challenge.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, like
even when he's working and he's like on the computer and his mind is like really focused, I try not to interrupt him.
Right.
Because, they say that it takes like 17 minutes for him to refocus, like try to get his thoughts back together and continue on with what he's doing. So I try to just keep him in that zone and just let him finish and continue what he's doing. So that's another, I mean, it's a sacrifice too, because I'm like, I want to tell him something, you know, or so I mean, I think that's important too.
Absolutely. Let me ask you one quick question. And so obviously, being married to like being married in the real estate game to like an entrepreneur and things like that's tough.
It
right?
is.
That's tough because I mean, we get pulled in so many different directions all the time, and like for you, what do you think is like the toughest part of that, of like, when you're married and you're in real estate and kind of being tugged in different directions, because we go through that. We're married and we're in real estate,
And it was really hard at the beginning because when we started, I was still working. He did it full time the first year. And I stayed and I worked, but then I also traveled like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
So I think my mother actually called me a part-time wife because it was hard trying to connect. Right. But then it was and I didn't really understand, you guys, you said, hey, you owned a bar before. So you were entrepreneurs before, where it was almost like a foreign concept. Of course, I know what an entrepreneur, but I'd always worked for someone. So mentally, to see him just primarily focus, it was hard. It was very hard for me initially because I think it was more of a lack of understanding. And then when I left, it almost got harder because then he saw me turn a corner and he was just like, hey, what's going on? So how did that impact you guys?
Well, I guess it did start with the bar because when he had the bar. He was never home. He was like married to the restaurant, really. So I hardly seen him. But I mean, I guess at that time he had a different mindset, and we weren't as connected and close as we are now. So I kind of had to like deal with it, I guess. So it kind of like toughened my skin. And so when we did get into the real estate game, I already had that mindset that, you know, he has to do what he has to do. But
because it's for us.
Yes. So, but like you said, like in the beginning, it was hard for me to understand that because it was just like I'd never seen him. I didn't feel connected. You know, like you need to spend more quality time with me. You know, and that's one of my love languages too.
Quality time.
So I mean, for me, that was really tough. But I guess just already going through that and then getting into something else, like, and actually just taking the classes with him and just being around him and just knowing like, oh, he's on the phone. He's always, you know, like he's just always doing something. He's not just like messing around or, you know what I mean?
He's a hustler.
So I guess just being with him for one thing and just knowing what a day in the life of an entrepreneur is like, you just, you understand better.
Right, exactly. You know? That's awesome. I'm so glad you spoke on that. I think that is, you hit it right on the money. I think that's exactly what it is. And but yes.
But it's I feel like it's a continuous. You know, marriage is a choice. You know, and when you're all in, you're choosing each other. You're choosing this daily, and you know, a lot of times, I'll see like around or on social media or whatever, you know, being an entrepreneur, it's hard on relationship. It's hard on marriage or whatever. And, you know, you're rooting for everyone to make it and to, you know, still communicate and connect and find some type of balance. But it's hard, and you have to mentally, you know, make that choice or continuously make that choice and remember why you're in it, why you're here, why you're doing this.
Right. Absolutely. No, I think that's good. I think that was I think that was awesome. And but yeah, so to get back, that was deep. Like that was just like whoa. But yeah, so kind of to get back, so you're talking about like the sub 2 deals and wholesaling them and things like that. So
so like I said, that was the number one strategy I learned the first year. And then the second year, right? So I gave up 2016 to hustle. 2017, I was doing the same thing, but I knew I had to give back the time to my wife and my son. And so that year, I was going to networking events, and I ran into Eric Kane.
Okay.
Right? And I ran into him, and at that time, I went up there, and I was like, hey, my name is Tang. I'm just looking for more capital. I got some deals in the pipeline. Would love some funding, right?
Yeah.
So he came up to me and said, hey, what's up? We met. And he was trying to schmooze me, you know, say you can come out to my boat on Sunday, you know, and hang out. And I'll fund those deals for you. Hey, you want to go out to lunch? I was like, man, this guy's out with me out for lunch. Okay, cool. You know, like he got money. Let's go. So he took me out to lunch and just got to talking. He's like, yeah, I work full-time job, managing like another company.
Okay.
And I watched his phone while he talked to me, and I'm like, lunch, he missed 20-something calls at lunch.
Wow.
And it was like an hour lunch. I was like, you gonna pick that? No, don't worry about it. It's just dispatching. I'm a dispatcher. I'm like, shouldn't you be dispatching? They might need your help. It's like, it goes on all day like this. 150 calls like this all day. So don't worry. And so I was like, you like that? You know, like, it's like, no, I want to get into real estate. It's like, well, why don't you just get into real estate if you really want that? You sound like you really want it. Like, I really want it. It's like, man, just quit. And he's like, man, I can't do that. I got a family and everything. Okay, cool. So met him again at another RIA, and he's like, hey, can I take you out to lunch again? I was like, okay, let's go. We went, and then he said, hey, Tang, I put in my 2 weeks notice. I was like, oh, shit. You did?
Are you sure you want to do this?
Okay. Cool. Well, I guess let's get started. Like, what can I do to help you out, you know? Because I kind of put that bug in your ear, you know? It's like, whatever I can do to help. I'm marketing and everything, too. And this was, like, July, August now, right? And we were booking trips. like I said, I wanted to give my time back to the family.
Right.
And so August, September, October, November, December, we went on a trip every month, once a month for like, a few days a week, because I wanted to give my time back.
Right.
Just to repay back the time.
Yeah.
And I had Eric there, and I said, Eric, hey, run all these leads for me, and I'll coach you. I'll just, whatever you need help on, I'll coach you. And so he was running leads, getting deals, contracts and everything, and I was enjoying the time with my family. We were in Turks and Caicos for Thanksgiving, and I was closing deals. I was like, man, this is awesome. Right. And then, we had...
You're making money on vacation.
Yeah, and then so I ended up almost hitting 30 deals again.
Wow.
But 6 months of the year, I wasn't even there. I was with my wife, and that was like awesome.
Yeah.
And then came January, we're like, hey, let's sit down and have a real talk about becoming partners.
Yeah.
And so that's when it all started.
And it all started with networking at AREA.
Oh,
You said you met him at AREA.
Yeah.
And just like networking is just so cool. And now this guy's a partner. You guys are doing the business together. It really seems like you guys are just doing some really great things. Man, I see deals coming across the table all the time. Sub-2 deals coming across the table all the time. Solds coming across the table all the time. That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
story.
you. Yeah. And it's the craziest thing, because we would never cross paths if we saw each other outside of a network, right?
Right.
It was just, I mean, that's why we're called the Odd Brothers for a reason. We're like, we don't have similar like hobbies or anything. It's just like, he likes boating. He loves boating. So he's like, every Sunday he's boating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's hot out there. I'm a chill in the AC.
Yeah.
I go boating once in a while, but he is a religious every week. That's his family time.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
And so we're just complete opposite, but because of the network, because of REI, because of, real estate just put us together. Our license, our good, I'm saying, our strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
We play on each other, right? I have different strengths. He had different strengths, and I needed that in the organization. So it's just like perfect.
Just meshed
Yeah.
perfect, man. That's awesome, man. And so like, so in your business partnership, who's like the numbers guy? Like, who kind of do both of you guys kind of focus on the numbers, and do both of you guys kind of focus on the deal structure and the acquisitions with the sellers?
So
and stuff like that?
I'm on the marketing side.
Okay.
Marketing and acquisitions and dispositions. He does the day-to-day, the office, the systems and process, the CRM, which is like, I think that's the most boring thing in the world. But it works. He makes it work for me, and I'm like, great, because I'll just throw ideas all day at him. Like we have an office, but we office in the same office, and we have 2 empty rooms, but I'm like, no, I'd rather just be in the same room, bouncing ideas. We work faster like that. So I'm always shooting ideas, and
That's
he just
crazy.
grab whatever that's floating, right? Because my ideas are just nonstop.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a good one. Okay, I'll grab that one. Oh, that one's okay. It's like, oh, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
So it's good because I need that, because I think every idea is great, right?
He's
Sounds
left-handed,
familiar.
by the way.
So
Are you left-handed?
Right.
I am.
You're
She's
you're
like, yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
He thinks with his right brain. So
And so, and then it works out. It works out for us. Huh? And we're, and it comes to deals too. Like I showed him how to do a sub-2, right? Looking at numbers in a different way, how we can manipulate numbers, how we can like create equity at a thin air, like in certain ways. And he didn't understand that at first. He was just like, and then just one day it clicked, and he just like, oh my gosh, now he loves numbers now.
Yeah.
So,
and you guys are and I think that's awesome. And you guys are actually like doing these sub-2 deals, and you're actually wholesaling sub-2 deals. So can you kind of go into a little bit on how you actually, can you go into the structure of a sub-2 deal? So say, for instance, you're talking to a seller. Can you just kind of give us the role play of how that looks like if I was the seller and I'm right across from you, or if Marsha's the seller, we're right across from you, and you're sitting down with us and you're propositioning us to, to sell you this deal sub-2. And then how that looks if you are going to disposition that to a buyer.
Okay. So getting sub-2 deals is actually pretty easy, depending on what type of lead, right?
Okay.
If it's a pre-foreclosure, those are the leads that I was taught to chase after, because it's going to be the most motivated.
Right.
And so bringing up the sub-2 option wasn't too much of an issue because it's either sub 2 or you go into foreclosure.
Right.
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 And so we, our if our spiel, our pitch to them is like, hey, we typically buy it cash, and this is the cash offer, right? And it's most of the time it's gonna be way less than what they owe on the house, right?
Right.
But you have to give it to them as an investor. You have to do that for a reason. You got to let the seller see and feel, understand that number. Right. Right. Why it's not going to work. Right. So they get in their heads like, oh my gosh, I can't take this. Right. And it's like, okay, well, I have this other option, but I don't know if it's for everyone. Right. It does put more money in your pocket, but I don't know it's for you. Right. They're gonna want to know what it is. Boom. And that's right. The setup. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you tee it up. It's, I don't know. It's a few people. I got this very successful with certain people, but I don't know if it's the right fit for you. Right. And then they're gonna want to know because I just let it sit in the air and what is it? What is it? Okay, great. So we there's another option where we just take over the debt that you owe to the bank. Right. I see that you're $8,000 behind the mortgage, and is there any way you get this caught up? Because, is there any... So I like to do that. I run through the options, right? I want to know if we can try to stop the foreclosure that way. And so that's my one way of getting in the door. A lot of people who door knocks and everything, I come in as a servant first, say, hey, is there any way I can stop this foreclosure? I can stop this foreclosure and keep you in the house. I don't think anybody would do that coming into a door, right? Right. And I switch their thought process because they're getting knocked on all day long. Right. But if I come in and say, hey, I can stop this foreclosure and keep you in your house, it's different from, hey, I want to buy your house, I want to take your house. Right. And I do. I run through all the options because their head's in the sand or they're just like panicking, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm running, hey, you have me friends, families, 401ks, just a rich uncle, anything. Like, let's figure out a way to get this done. But not only that, how are you going to repay this? Because you can borrow the money, but do you have anything in the future that's going to change your income? Right. Do you have another job in line? Do you have, you got to make sure, because you can't just borrow it. That's the one thing I tell them. I say, hey, you got to make sure you can repay. If you can't, I think we got to face reality now and lay out some other options for you other than foreclosure. Right. And so I'm teeing it up for that. And
I like how you actually set that up to where it's kind of like you're almost kind of putting all the objections up front, kind of. You're kind of like painting the picture and kind of setting up all the objections up front. So
and annihilating them.
Really.
Disqualifying.
Yeah. Disqualifying. Yeah.
Any options that they're going to choose. Right. Yeah. And so that's been the key, just going in and showing them all the options. And I have a few that they're still living in the house. I found a way to, like, they're able to get money, and then now they're still living in the house. It still works.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, that's how we're able to get property sub 2, right? So we'll come in and say, hey, how about I just, what do you need, right? What are your wants and needs? I know you're wanting to stay here at this property, but we ran through the options. It doesn't look like, those are the options, right? And they'll agree, okay, because you're bringing in this amount in and you're paying this amount out on this house. Right. I think you should get something more affordable. Right. Let us help you with that. Right. And then we look at, we look around for a rental property. Or we run through those options. Hey, do you have anybody you want to, that will take you in? Because that's going to be the best bet. You can get another place, but to build back up, is there someone that you can move into that would willing to help you for like a few months or something like that? So we run through those options, and of course they'll find someone, or that, oh yeah, I got someone I'm moving into. And some guys are like, yeah, I'm tired of this house. I'm ready to get out because of certain situations in the house, bad, just bad experience, bad memories, or whatever, right? Right. And so that's where the sub 2 comes into play. So okay, how about I get this payment caught up for you? I'll pay on your behalf from here on out, and I can actually put some money in your pocket. But I gotta know what your needs and wants are. If you just need to move, hey, I got that covered for you. I even call the guys. I'll get everything covered. I mean, I literally was moving people out physically out of houses just to help. Yeah, in the beginning. Right. So
providing value.
Yeah, just whatever I can to we got a deadline. So it's always pressing the urgency. Hey, we got 2 weeks to do this, and we got to get it done. I'd rather help you now than when the time comes, then the constable is going to come help you move out.
Right.
So
right.
It's like you're throwing the fear out, but you're painting the picture, right?
Right.
You'd rather have me help now and have
right.
the security of having a place settled with your kids than being on the street.
Right. You're giving them options, but you're bringing reality.
Oh, yeah.
To the forefront.
That's what a lot of sellers don't see at that time.
Right.
And so I'm solving all their problems.
Mm-hmm.
I got everything lined up, and let's move forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you want to move forward with this option, which I think is the best option, so I want to put that in their head.
Right.
I think we should move forward, and we got to move it now.
Okay.
So it's all those little key factors. There's urgency, sense of urgencies that gets them moving, because a lot of them are kicking tires. They're just, they're just
procrastinating.
All the way to the end, all the way to the day of. And I'm just trying to move them a little faster. And so, hey, we got a property. We just had to bring like around 10 grand, right? Like 8,000 reinstatement, money to the seller, closing costs, around 10 grand. Mm-hmm. And so now I have a property where we close on the property, subject to the existing mortgage, right? The mortgage stays in place, and I'm just paying on their behalf. So I get that's the key. When you're doing this, I have a checklist. So when you get into sub-twos, you're gonna get it's a lot of moving parts.
Right.
So you gotta have like the latest mortgage statement. The online access is the best because you can go on there, change the credentials, whatever you need to get like further information from the bank, right? The mailing, any mail, any statements, whatever, just comes to your PO box, your house, whatever you want. But you have access, you have control of the property now.
So you changed the mailing address?
I do. Okay. I changed it. I forwarded it to our PO box.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Just forward. I mean, I want the information.
You want to see it.
So I can stay current with everything.
Right.
And so from then on, it's just what I look now. It's the fun part, right? I look at all the numbers, right? How much equity do I have? How much is the PITI, right? That's the total principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. How much is that total? And then I look at the rental rates in the area. If the total monthly mortgage is $1,100 and you see the rental rates are like $1,500, $1,600, it's a sweet rental, right? Mm-hmm. But then I like to run my owner finance numbers, right? I do like the new price. Let's just say the house is $100,000. I'll just run it at 100,000, the ARV, right? And then I do my 10% down. I run all those numbers, and then I come out with the new PITI of what I would make at my terms. Mm-hmm. And if it's, which is more than the smaller note, the original note, whatever the difference is, that's your cash flow. Right. And it's your true cash flow. Right. It's not paying maintenance. It's not paying management. This is true cash flow because they own the house. The new owner that buys the house, they own the house now. Right. So it's their responsibility.
The paper, the deed,
the note, the note that I create. That's true cash flow right there. So that's just one strategy of wrapping it. But then of course, I'm keeping certain homes in certain areas because I want everything closer. So my portfolio is everything in the HEB area, Tarrant County, and some in Grand Prairie. I just picked up 5 townhouses yesterday in Grand Prairie, and I'm keeping all those bad boys.
See how awesome it is? I just picked up 5 townhouses yesterday.
It's a longer story. It took me quite a bit to close, but we just wrapped it up. Okay. Actually 4 closed yesterday, 1 today. Nice. But we finally got it. And that one we did with zero money out of pocket. Wow. Just like what the infomercial said. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So that was cool.
I have a question. So you said there was like one scenario you said where the actual seller could stay in the house.
Oh,
How do you protect yourself if they, let's say if it's a foreclosure lead or what have you, if they're not paying their mortgage before you step into the picture, what's the probability that they're going to be current with you, and how do you protect yourself?
So this is a rare occurrence, right?
Okay.
But the seller, this is a crazy one. Not really, but so the seller called. Oh, this is crazy. That's why I was so excited about the story. So door knocking, right? Goes back to door knocking. We have, door knock. It's down to a T. We have a CRM that clicks like what time, what day. What do you see out outside, what do you see out there? Like everything's recorded because if I go to that house Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. and get the same results, why are you going every day at the same time? So we're switching up. Like I'll go there one day. I'm not going to go to that same house until the afternoon or the evening time next day. Trying to catch the guys at the door, right?
Right.
And so this one house, we went 3 times in a week. Couldn't find them. Then the 4th time was a Sunday. And Eric was just happening to come back from Vegas for a Grant Cardone event, right? Okay. 10X Growth Conference. He came home that Sunday, and it was on his birthday. So I was like, hey, I called his wife, Stacy, and said, hey, Stacy, just tell him that he needs to go to this appointment with me. He needs to go door knocking with me, okay? And so he came home, and he said, hey, let's go door knocking. I was like, yeah, let's go door knocking. So we took him door knocking because we were playing a surprise birthday party at Topgolf for him. So the whole family, everybody went there, and I took him, we picked him up, we started going around door knocking, and I was just killing time at this time, you know. And then we came to that house, knocked on the door, they opened. I'm like, you weren't supposed to open this time because we got a party to go to.
Right.
She opens the door and it's on a Sunday. I'm like, yeah, we've been trying to get a hold of you all week. She's like, well, I'm a nurse. I work crazy hours. Right. Sunday's my only day. I was like, oh, perfect. Hey, so we sat down and talked. Ends up being that was her mom's house that she passed, and she was staying in the house. So she was, looked like they were getting behind on mortgage payments and everything. And she's like, yeah, it's been a rough few months. I'm just looking to, I think we need to sell. And so I was like, okay, let's see what we can do. It was like $20,000 reinstatement. I'm like, ooh, it's going to be tough, right? Yeah. And then, but she had quite a bit of equity, so I was like, we can make it work. And then we're like, hey, are you ready to move out? Are you ready to, because we're about to close. I got to have this property, because she's like, I don't want memories here. I have bad memories. Oh, and her son passed away in the house.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so she's like, I'm out of this house. I don't want to be here. Done. I'm done. I'm ready to move. And so a week before closing, she's like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't sell you this house. I was like, what do you mean? Like, we're ready to go. We got everything ready. I said, well, I can't sell you the house because I don't know. I don't know where else to go. I was like, well, we can find you a place to go. It's okay. We can find you a place. I said, well, the original place I had, they didn't accept me or something like that. And I was like, so I didn't think of anything. I was like, it didn't accept you. Like, she didn't get qualified or something like that in my head. And I was like, hey, well, and then she goes, well, what do you plan on doing with the house? I was like, well, I plan on just putting another family in the house because I want to help you out and save the foreclosure, stop the foreclosure, but I also help other homeowner or potential homeowners to get a house that can't get traditional financing. Right. And so that's how it's like a win-win situation for all of us. I help this family, the next family I help in the house that couldn't get a loan, and then we all win. Right. And so she was like, well, how much do you plan on selling the house? I was like, why is she asking me all these questions? Right. And I was like, well, it's going to be like 180. No, actually, no. That was almost, 180. 185. She's like, well, why don't you sell it to me? And I'm like puzzled. I'm like, what do you mean sell it to you? You're throwing all these.
Right. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Right. She's like, well, the house that I was going to get, they didn't approve me for a loan. I was like, oh, so you're going to buy? I thought you were going to move into rent. She's like, no. I was going to buy another house and I have $20,000 to put down.
Boom.
I'm like, what? Like, you have money, but she didn't want to reinstate because she just didn't know. She didn't want the memory, right?
Right.
And then I was like, well, yeah, we're going to sell it to another individual with X amount of down payment and everything. She's like, well, man, like, can I just buy it from you? Because I wanted to, because I already told you I was going to sell it to you. So can you sell it back to me? It's like, man, that's the interesting one. How am I going to sell it back to you? And so we were able to do it, but we sold it to her new husband under his name. Okay. So it worked. Okay. So that's how we sold it to him. They ended up staying at the house with her own down payment, and I wrapped it.
Oh, okay.
So I sold the house to her, and I wrapped it with her mom's mortgage.
Right.
So that was an interesting one.
Into the new husband's name.
Yeah, and they're living it. So one, I didn't do any repairs. Two, they didn't have to pack, and I didn't want to do any repairs. They had 3 dogs in the house, and they tore up the house.
Yeah.
And so I was able to create pretty much equity because the original note was like 130, 140.
Right.
And then I told him I was going to sell it for 180 after I fixed everything, but I was still able to push it to like 180 without touching the house.
Boom.
So that was being creative with all the numbers and
then the cash flow from that was like what, 300, 400?
$200-$300. And till this day, she still calls us like, hey, how you doing? Thanks for, for everything.
That is awesome. I can't tell you how many wholesalers or investors that would have passed up that lead. Probably 9 out of 10 people. It's 9.9 out of 10 people would have probably passed that lead up, or not even knew what to do in the situation when the lady said that she wanted to stay.
Because 140 was the balance, and it's worth 180. So there's 40,000, but then there's still like 20,000 repairs.
Right.
Right. And it didn't make sense to most people.
Absolutely.
But you're still listening, trying to figure out a way to solve the problem. So that was it. Being a great listener and being creative, trying to think outside the box.
Absolutely. So it seems like that on to Marsha's point, it seems like that's one of the key things when you're doing the sub-2 deals is, you're actually listening true. You're painting the picture of what the scenario looks like. And then you're listening to what the actual needs are, and you're fulfilling those needs. So from what I hear is, because you're very successful. You guys are very successful. And from what I hear is you're not in it just to make a quick buck. It's not about like, I can make $10,000. Oh, man, I can wrap this house. It's, you know what? I can actually solve a seller's problem. I can help them out. I can put them in a win-win scenario. And in return, I can position myself and my family to win as well.
Yep.
I love it.
And I have just one last question. Were you guys late for the party?
We were. We were
waiting for him.
Oh my goodness! Because we try to get everything that day. Like when I'm in the door, I want everything because there's so many times when you visit, get an appointment, and then you forget this, forget that, right? So we're on the phone with the bank, on the phone with the sisters because the sisters had to sign up because it was the mom's house that passed, right? She had 2 sisters, and they had to sign off on the sale and everything, and we were talking to the sisters, and she was like, yeah, this gentleman just came here to help. So I had to pitch the sub-2 3 times. So that's what's taking us. Because I talked to this sister, then I talked to this sister, and I was like, what I was going to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, they're waiting for us. Yeah. But we got under contract. Yeah, we ran to the party. And
boom.
That was a cool birthday gift.
Heck yeah, man.
Present, yeah.
I love it.
That was a great one.
Yeah, that was a good story. Thank you for sharing that. That was an awesome story. Good. Well, I think that we just have a few more questions. I think you've done well. Do you have anything else you want to add before we go to?
Oh, yeah. So real quick, I don't want to touch on like sub-2s, right? So
yeah,
any ones that doesn't make sense to us, as in it's not in our area, there's still buying whole guys that would love a property for like 10, 20 grand, right? And it's not under their name. They don't have to add it to their portfolio. They just get more rental property. So that's how we set them up. So in that checklist, I'm talking about everything's in it, right? Like the mortgage statement and everything. And that's how you have to market because they got to know what they're buying. They got to know how much they're paying every month so they can calculate how much rent they're going to charge and how much they're going to make. So you got to have all those items when you're marketing and any properties.
And you're talking about like if you were planning a wholesale.
Yeah. Correct. And honestly, I want most of the buyers, they're guys that they have to show me what they're doing. Like I was like, do you have rental properties? Do you have any sub-2s? Do you know sub-2s? I don't just randomly give a guy a sub-2 if he doesn't know what it is. Yeah. I gotta make sure you understand just everything about sub-2 and what you're gonna do. And hey, I want to make sure the seller's protected. I want to make sure he's good because I had the relationship with the seller, and I'm pretty much handing it off to the end buyer. Right. And my end buyers, we have a few guys that are just buying like 3, 4, 5 a year, from me because I see his operation. Okay, guys, legit. Or if you plan on doing a fix and flip right away, okay, cool. That's understandable. But if long-term guys, I got to know who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I think that's gold. Thank you. Did you have anything you wanted to chime in on before I move to the next question? We'll go ahead Start wrapping it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So thank you for that, Tang and Ann. So just a few more questions. I mean, I think you've done wonderful, you guys. Thank you. So what do you think about the current market condition right now? Kind of like what's going on in the market right now? I mean, it seems like there are, kind of this question and another question that I had was the next question was going to be like, do you have any tips for new or struggling wholesalers or things like that? Maybe someone that's only doing maybe like one deal a month or something like that, or doing one deal a quarter or one deal every couple months, or maybe 2 deals a month, and they're trying to scale their business up. So with that being said, as far as like how wholesaling goes and maybe adding subject to into your toolbox, what do you think about the current market condition, and what tips and would you guys be able to give out to
current market condition in DFW? Fire.
Yeah.
Fire. Like it's not slowing down here. It's just, to me, it's not slowing down.
Yeah.
I can see like we're getting more there's more products out there that there's a lot of $500 down. You get yourself a house. I'm like, those guys shouldn't be getting into a house with $500 down with all this down payment assistance, all these programs. It's great, but these guys are getting the house. They have the rental mentality because I know certain pockets, certain subdivisions, we're picking up 3-4 in a row, and they're all built like 2014, 2015, like fresh houses, 2016. Like, how are you already belly up, or how are you not able to handle the payments? Oh, property taxes. Oh, they didn't tell you about property tax that keeps going up every year. So that's how we're getting more of these deals, right? And we can see it. There's more foreclosures every month, so it's plenty of house opportunities out there.
Right.
It's plenty of opportunities. So whether if it's not in that area, but there's still it's just so much to eat. So many people are moving in. I like this area. That's why I just made my main market. It's all DFW. It's Texas, but mainly DFW. We are venturing out other cities, but we have so much in our backyard. And if I can give any tips to new guys coming on board, just take what you learn and implement it. I see a lot of guys, like last night, right? I see guys, and I love it. They're coming, they're learning, but I got to see more action. You can learn all day long, but that book's not going to pay the bill.
I agree.
Those books are not going to pay the bills, right? Your action will. Your action will, just keep rolling and get more. You got to run into those problems. And then that's why we have these events, so we can solve. You can bring your questions, I can answer, whatever. But if you're just constantly learning, then you're gonna learn forever. You're just gonna learn about it. It's gonna be a hobby. It's just, it's great to know all that. But I know guys know more than me at those meets.
Don't do nothing.
Know more than me. Like they're spitting out. I'm like, dang, he knows all this. Like he's just telling me, he's answering his own questions. When he asked me, I'm like, you know this. Like, go do it. Let's do it. So
absolutely. I agree with you 100%. How about you, Ann? What would you say
about taking action? For sure. I mean, if you're not out there, trying to do what you need to do and figuring out what problems or learning, basically. I mean, you just, even if you're making mistakes, you're gonna learn, and that's the only way you can grow.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the key to happiness.
Absolutely.
Is the progress. And growth.
I've learned that. So, like I said, the past life, it humbled me, and now it's like everything I learned. I enjoy the mistakes. I enjoy everything because it's like a journey now. Like I look back 4 years, I'm like, it was fun. Like going through all this. I mean, problems gonna come up like every day, right? Like this morning before I came here, I was like, we're gonna get this property closed. I don't know. And it's like we're going through this, but at the end of the day, once it's solved, like cool, we it's okay. It's not it's the small stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing big.
Exactly. Man, I love that. Thank you guys. I mean, that was good.
That's
Do you
good.
have anything?
I mean, I definitely think it applies to everything in life, really.
Absolutely.
And for me, I mean, this is kind of off subject, but I also dance.
Okay.
And so I stopped dancing for 15 years.
Okay.
And I started back up again last year. And I started taking classes and just going out there, and I didn't remember, like, I would take classes and could not retain the choreo.
Hold up. Let's clarify. What kind of dancing you do?
That was going to be my next question. I was like, you a married woman?
Hold up.
Yeah, so hip hop, Latin fusion.
Oh, wow.
I do salsa, bachata, the Latin dances. So.
Oh, my God.
Okay, see? Now we're, okay.
Okay.
You're married to what?
Right.
Pole dancing. Yeah, but so I could not retain the choreo, and I would want to cry in classes because my brain was not working in that way. Dance evolved so much after 15 years, but a year later, I'm doing so much better.
There you go.
1 year in the grind.
Yeah,
Oh.
and just constantly training, just going out there. Even when I was scared, I was intimidated by these like young dancers because they're so advanced, they just come advanced. I don't know. And so I'm like, oh my God. And even my son, he would take classes with me. He's intimidated by the older kids.
Yeah.
And I'm intimidated by the same younger kids, you know, and it's kind of funny. We're going through this journey together and just learning and growing together.
That's awesome.
We're making mistakes, but it's just, the instructor, he would call us out to come dance. And even though I didn't have the choreo, the choreography completely, I would just go out there and do it anyway.
There you go.
Even though I made mistakes, but people are just cheering you on. And, but I think that if I'm not out there just taking action, then I would never grow. Like I would never become a better dancer.
I agree with you. And it sounds like from kind of what and correct me if I'm wrong, kind of what I'm hearing is you're saying like, hey, if you're just spending a lot of time analyzing things, you're going to be in your head and all these mental blocks are going to be there, but you just have to learn a little and take action, learn a little, take action, learn a little, take action. And then you start getting your stride. And that's what it kind of seems like you were. I agree. 100%. Yeah, I think that was good.
I think so too.
Yeah.
We just want to thank you guys so much
for
being our first.
First, baby. First. The Colemans.
Yeah.
This is good. So, we're just going to wrap it up, guys. I mean, you guys have done a fantastic job. So, the very, very last thing is, how can our viewers, everyone watching the show, how can they get in contact with you guys to work with you guys?
The easiest way to reach out to me is either Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
Tango.with.me.
Okay.
So Tango with me.
Okay.
And Anne Frank on Instagram.
Okay.
It's spelled ANH and then Frank, Anne Frank.
Okay.
So we're always, talking. I that's where I spend a lot of my time. So I didn't know how much time I would spend on Instagram till now. Now it's like I'm getting DMs all the time of what we do, right? My daily activities and asking questions, even from ginger shots to whatever. They're like, how do you make this? Or any deals that we sign, and I'm giving tidbits. Oh, I got this for this and this. How'd you get it? How's your marketing? So I'm constantly replying and talking and engaging with my followers and everything. So
awesome. Well, hey, thank you guys so much again. So everyone, that's how you get a hold of Tang. That's how you get a hold of Ann. Thank you guys for watching our first episode of REI Talk with the Colemans. A couple things. You want to share anything before I get into how to get in contact with us?
Nope.
Okay. So how to get in contact with us. Again, I'm Jay Coleman. This is Marsha Coleman. I'm very active on Facebook. So if you look me up on Facebook, Jay Coleman, you can instant message me. I'm very active there. Also, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about some of our other companies in which we can help you guys out with. We have JMC Realty Group. So if you're anyone out there and you're looking to get a property listed, Marsha's an agent. She can definitely help you with that. Our main company in the middle, JMC Property Group, we're basically like a wholesaler. So if you want to get on our buyers list, you can go to our website, www.jmcpropertygroup.com. Click on the tab at the top to join buyers list. You can start seeing our deals. Also, if you're a wholesaler and you need help moving a deal, in DFW, we do a lot of JV deals, so please feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to partner with you on those to help you get those deals across the table. And then we also have another brand here that we just started this month. On the end over here, it's JMC on the Go. And basically what JMC on the Go is it's a real estate services company. Think boots on the ground. So what we can do for you is if you're an investor, if you're a wholesaler, if you're a virtual wholesaler, if you're a property management company, if you're a title company and you need mobile notary services done, we can take care of that. If you need document signing services done. Say you're a wholesaler and you have a contract you need to get signed from a seller or something like that. We can take care of that for you. You need photo services done, a property walkthrough done, like with photos. We can get that done for you. Videos. We can get that done for you. You need a lockbox put on the property. We can get that done for you. You need someone to host a property showing for you. We can get that done for you. And that's JMC on the go.
I like that.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, we look forward to working with you guys, and thank you for watching today's show. Please like and subscribe to REI Talk with the Colemans. Go to our YouTube channel. That we will have this uploaded shortly. And again, subscribe to that. And don't forget to reach out and leave some comments for us. And don't forget to reach out to Tang and Wynn. They are definitely here to help you in your REI journey. And that's all. Thank you, everyone.